Okay, perfect, guys. So let's just start from the most general question about the market. I'm sure you know all the figures about XR, but let me just ask you a broad question. So where is XR market going? According to Mordor Intelligence, the compound annual growth rate of XR will grow by 57% in the period of 2022-2027. But what in fact will happen? Do you think more people will simply buy XR headsets, or maybe it will rather be a gadget for wealthy people? Um, what do you think? From my perspective, maybe I'll start with myself as part of Flint Systems team, where we deliver VR training simulators for machines operator training. I can tell that the whole market of VR training is expanding, and it's not just, but more and more companies see the advantages that XR brings. So far, we cooperated with ports, warehousing, and constructions, but we see an interest from mining, oil and gas, the military. So I think in the next 5 years, we will have more and more companies that will be using XR for training. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I would just go on to say that it's going to be the enterprise that initially uses this technology more widespreadly. It's definitely used at home, but it's the enterprise where XR, and what we mean by XR is the combination of virtual reality and augmented reality. So this is where if you're in augmented reality, you can see the world around you, and you see 3D images superimposed in front of your real world. And then when we talk about VR, we're in an immersed world, and we can't see anything around us, but we're completely immersed in the environment. So both of those have different use cases, and they can both be used for the same sort of thing. But I see training and education being probably the largest markets where this technology is going to be used first. There's been a lot of research done into this where you can go through a training course using this tech and be able to comprehend what you're learning in a much more rapid way than you normally would under a standard training scenario where you're just looking at a 2D screen. When you're interacting with 3D environments, your brain works more efficiently, and it can understand what it's trying to learn in a much more rapid way. And this specifically works most effectively in the medical industry, where it's very hard to depict organs and parts of the body which are very complex. And to see them in 3D, and it helps trainee doctors and medical staff to learn about how parts of the body work in a much more rapid way. So I see that as being the big change or big use of XR technology over the next 2 or 3 years, but it'll only increase over the next decade until everyone will be using the tech.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think training is a big one as well, but pushing more to the entertainment side, which is where I mostly come from. You ask if it will be like simply people will buy an XR headset, or will be for wealthy people. I would say both, because that's how it works right now, right? So you have like high-end headsets like Vario headset, which is not accessible at all for a personal person. Though they just released a new, like, more accessible version that that it is for wealthy people, and I do believe they release because they know there is a market there, like to people that has Formula One simulators, they want to use a high-end headset on their cockpits and things like that. But at the same time, we have the little boy here, which is extremely accessible, to be honest, for the power it has. And I don't think it's going to change. And I do believe there will be the enterprise, the high-end headsets for one reason, and there will be the more accessible for a completely different reason. And the in-betweens there. And the enterprise, no, the entertainment space. I was just now at South by Southwest. It's really funny because you do have people, way more people that already know like about VR. I had that demo there with a VR headset. Quite some people just coming and just catching and just putting, and they know what to do. They're quite native, but some people is still like even like first timers, which I think is interesting. What's something I was thinking and discussing quite a lot, especially at South by Southwest, is the metaverse, crypto frenzy now. Where does XR really get there? And how do we, people on that front, they are excited about XR, but how these things are going to collide is still a bit unclear. And XR is getting a bit behind, my opinion, on those developments. But yeah, we will see. But I think there's a lot of stuff to happen.
Okay. Thank you. Ross?
Just to follow on from both Victor and Richard, I think that both the consumer and enterprise market are really interesting at the moment. Here in the UK, Ofcom released some stats from last year. Consumer headset sales went up 350%. So that's telling us something. It's growing. People are adopting the technology. People are using it in their personal lives, whatever they want to. And I think it's now 1 in 17 households have access or are using a VR headset compared to 1 in 20 a year before. So quite a big leap and a big jump.
Yeah.
I'd also suggest that in some sectors, the consumer behavior allows better and easier adoption in the enterprise market, where people are using VR in their personal lives or they're familiar with it, maybe family members are using it or so on. And we now start to see it in the enterprise market. It's a better understanding of what the technology can do. And particularly where I want to pick up on Richard's point, we are absolutely focused on virtual embodiment and learning of clinical skills training in the health and social care space. And you will often find in our user testing, care workers are not familiar with the headsets, but they know family members that are. So it's not a complete surprise to them. And these family members tend to be children or young adults when they're close or extended family. And that's encouraging for us. And we welcome both. We want a healthy consumer market at a good price point that people can get access to the technology that can inform and shape and support the enterprise market where it's more complex and there is a higher price point. Yeah, but it makes a better environment for us trying to sell that product globally.